Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and this is Inside Indy. And today we're going to the Indiana State Fair, and here to take us there is Sharon Smith. You are the communications manager for this Indiana State Fair, right?
Yes, I am.
Welcome to Inside Indy.
Hey, happy to be here.
Wow, it's an Indiana tradition. We love it. And I know you have lots to offer, including what's happening at the fair this year.
Sure, so it's our 161st Indiana State Fair.
Wow.
Our theme this year is the wonderful world of food.
Now you're talking about like
Right? Well, you know, food is the #1 reason that people come to our fair. So we're certainly celebrating that. And every day of the fair, and we run through August 20th, we have a different food item that's featured that day. So everything from fried foods to ice cream to eggs, we have a featured food item every day and a lot of fun activities centered around that food item.
Okay, because typically, you know, that's why, like you said, we go to the fair for the food and that we know that it's there every year.
Right.
So what might we expect this year, being that the theme is the wonderful world of food, that might be a little bit different than what we've seen in years past?
Sure.
In terms.
So we do have a taste of the fair, which is new, where folks can vote for their favorite food item on the little taste route that they can take. Some of the popular items this year are a little different. We do have deep fried peanut butter and jelly.
Deep fried. So it's a sandwich and they deep fry?
I would say it's more like a donut with powdered sugar on top, but that gooey peanut butter and jelly on the inside makes for a nice sweet treat.
Okay.
We also have a peanut butter, well, it has peanut butter, pineapple on a pork burger. And that's been popular too.
Are you serious? That sounds bizarre almost. I'm trying to imagine this as you're saying it because I've not been to the fair yet, but okay.
Yes, yes. Okay. And that was a featured item on our pork day. So, but yeah, it's a little different, but again, it's been getting rave reviews.
Okay. Now, do you list the calories like the restaurants do at all? Because
we don't.
I
think it's a good cheat day when you come to the fair, or days, depending upon how long you're out there. But you know, there's always the traditional corn dog, elephant ear, funnel cakes. We have a wonderful strawberry with vanilla custard ice cream funnel cake that's also on the taste of the fair. Delicious. So no calories that day.
No. I have to put those signs up. So now, who comes up with the menu each year for the fair? Where do you get this stuff from?
Well, again, sometimes it's just a matter of inviting back those fan favorites, those fair favorites. You're always going to see elephant ears at the fair, and corn on the cob, and as I said, you know, funnel cakes, etc. But sometimes we do challenge folks to come up with some interesting new items that they think would be popular based on what they've seen at other fairs.
So you ask the vendors perhaps to create things?
Sure.
Or they see something somewhere else and they bring it in? Okay.
Yeah. The deep fried peanut butter and jelly is a great example.
Okay.
That was created creatively, and it's been a hit.
Wow. I can't even, okay. But it sounds good.
I promise you, I've tried it. It's delicious.
Okay. Did you eat the whole thing, or you just kind of?
Well, yeah, it's filling, so I will say that.
Okay.
But I made a substantial effort.
Not hard to do, huh? Okay. So what else can we expect at this year's Indiana State Fair?
Another very popular feature is our free stage. We have concerts daily at the fair, and it's a great opportunity to see some of your favorites, or you might be exposed to some local artists. We have a blend of local talent, along with some names that you'll find familiar, like Patti LaBelle is going to be featured the last week of the fair. And again, the evening concerts are always popular. They tend to start around 7:30. Okay. And then we also have daily entertainment as well on the free stage that starts around noon.
Okay, so when you're just walking around eating your deep fried peanut butter sandwich, you can just pop in and see what's on the musical menu, so to speak.
Yes, absolutely. It's open seating, so general admission, well, not general admission, it comes with the fair admission free of charge, but open seating. So.
Okay. Speaking of fair admission, how much is it to get into the fair these days?
Sure, so it's $12. Children 5 and under are free.
Oh, okay.
And there are different days that are highlighted that offer discounts. So you'll want to go to indianastatefair.com and look under discounts and promotions.
Okay.
And you might find yourself going on a day where there's a discount.
Okay. Now, let's see, we've eaten our yummy stuff, and then we've check out some of the exhibits that you have and some of the
Yes.
features
Yes.
beyond the food.
Yes. A new feature this year is our Subaru Sky Ride. It's a wonderful addition to the fair. It allows folks to get a bird's eye view of Main Street, an easy 2 miles an hour. It's like a chairlift, so it takes you down Main Street, and $5 a person. It is separate from your Midway wristband.
Okay.
As far as rides are concerned, but it's been very, very popular because it's great for children and adults, and again, it gives you just a wonderful view of the grandstand and food vendors, the Coliseum, a lot of great landmarks at the fair. Okay. Tied into our theme, our global kitchen at our Harvest Pavilion on Main Street is another great feature. It's a museum quality exhibit that's brought to us by the American Museum of Natural History.
Okay.
And it provides a great opportunity to learn where your food comes from, as well as how different cultures cultivate food, display food, eat food. It's got a wealth of information. Again, we're getting reviews on that as well.
Okay, okay, that's pretty interesting. I bet that's pretty cool. So, rides. I know you mentioned the Subaru Sky Ride.
Correct.
But what else? Because I'm a Ferris wheel kind of person. I have not been able to do roller coasters for some time.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, I mean, there's a wide variety. We have a kiddie land area just for the littles to go and enjoy, those rides where they're on a bumblebee or something of that nature. And then we have those rides that thrill as well.
Okay.
So a great variety. And again, our midway hours are a little different from our entry hours or our gate hours. So daily they're 12 or noon to 11 p.m. during the week, and 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on the weekends.
Okay. Now explain how the wristband works.
Sure. Sure. So you pay a one-time fee of $30 a person, and you get your wristband, and that allows you entry onto all rides.
Wow. So you can go on over and over again, and,
Sure.
and it's okay. Okay.
Yes.
Cool.
We also have $2 Tuesday, which is always popular. So we'll have one more for the course of the fair this year.
Okay.
And entry is $2. Each food vendor has a $2 featured food item, and rides are $2. So it's a great deal.
That's my kind of day. I'm with you on that one. Now, speaking of rides, there is some concern about safety amusement park accidents in Ohio and around the country. So what do you say to Hoosiers who are planning to attend the fair?
Yeah, so we followed all of our safety protocols to make sure that everything met standards as far as all the rides were concerned, and passed inspection, and we feel very confident that we are providing a great, safe experience for our fairgoers.
Okay.
We also, I hate not to mention our 4-H. It's such a big part of the mission of our fair, the agricultural side of the fair, where we have youngsters really dedicating themselves to different species of livestock and showing them in competition. So don't forget to go through some of the barns, our sheep barn, our cattle barn. It's a great experience to see. In some cases, we have a dedicated space on Main Street where you can see a calf being born.
Wow.
And it's just a great experience to see animals and talk to experts about how they're raised, and just that kind of meaningful relationship that you see with farmers and their animals.
Okay. A big part, a huge part of the Indiana State Fair.
It is.
And you've been very blessed weather-wise because the weather's been great.
Oh, we have.
How's attendance?
We have. It's been wonderful. Record-breaking on a couple of days. We just have had a wonderful start to our Indiana State Fair.
Okay, sounds good. So let's go over the details in terms of the costs for the wristbands and admission, and also your hours.
Sure. Well, I do want to remind folks that you can find that information at indianastatefair.com, our website. It's a great resource, so you definitely want to check that out before you make a trip to the fairgrounds, so you kind of can plan your day. You can also download our mobile app, which is a nice feature, and it allows you to navigate the fairgrounds a lot more easily, and to kind of discover some of those more hidden nuggets when it comes to programming and features. So download that app and it'll help you enjoy your day even more. But just again, general admission, $12. Our hours are Sunday through Thursday, 8 a.m. To 11 p.m., Friday, 8 a.m. to midnight, and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 12:30 p.m.
Okay, so get all the details on your website. Thank you so much, Sharon Smith, who's the communications manager for the Indiana State Fair. Thanks for joining us on Inside Indy.
Thank you.
And we'll be back after this. Hi, I'm Kelly Vaughn, and this is Inside Indy. We're in the middle of August, still pretty warm outside, but things will start to cool down in a couple of weeks, which means fall is fast approaching, which means we start to turn our heaters on and the propane gas heaters and the space heaters. And that means you and your family, and especially your children, need to be aware of fire safety. So we're getting ahead of the game on the show today with Todd Estes, Captain Todd Estes. He is the Public Information Officer for the City of Noblesville Fire Department.
Absolutely, thank you.
Welcome to Inside Indy.
Thank you, thanks for having us.
And you're here to help keep us safe. There's so many things we forget about, we don't think about, things we take for granted. And again, fall is fast approaching. So what are some basic tips that you can give people as we approach the colder season?
Yeah, great question. I mean, as the colder months, come around, people don't think about, their chimneys. If they've got a fireplace, it's a matter of, hey, when's the last time they had those inspected? When's the last time they had them cleaned? Okay. So, we talk to people about that, and we, make that a point to, hey, if it's been a few years since you've had it checked, get your, chimneys checked. Same thing goes for your furnaces. People that use gas furnace, they're at high risk of, carbon monoxide. We'll make sure that they have carbon monoxide detectors in the homes. Have their furnaces checked out. A lot of people will supplement their heat with space heaters. We do. As the colder months, roll around, you start to see an increase in the number of fires that are caused by those space heaters. So we, tell people, try to keep a good distance, free around those space heaters, and we usually tell them around 6 feet.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about the chimneys real quickly because my parents had a fireplace, and I have a fireplace. I never think about the chimney, and think of Santa Claus coming down or something. I've never heard my parents even talk about that. So what are the risks with chimneys if you don't maintenance them?
Again, some of the risks that are associated with that, Kelly, again, is carbon monoxide. People don't realize that, through the chimney, they've got a metal pipe that can run up through there. And then over time, with the heating and, the contraction expands, that metal can actually crack, again, and causing, carbon monoxide in the homes. But not only that, but you can get a buildup of creosote. And it get to a certain temperature, and that can actually ignite, causing a fire.
Wow, I didn't know that. So, okay, so people need to be aware of that. So you call a chimney I don't even know who you call.
Yeah, just look on the internet these days, and if you type in for a chimney sweep, they're around the Indianapolis area.
Okay. These space heaters, you mentioned having 6 feet around the space heater. So in the fires that you service and you come to the rescue on, what is typically causing that? When it is too close to what? What do you see happen over and over again, the mistakes that people make with space heaters?
Some of the mistakes that we see is, they may set them next to their favorite recliner, and it's too close, to that fabric. Over time it warms up to where it ignites. People also, we notice that they'll have it too close to their newspapers or their magazine racks. Those are those are some of the things that we see.
Okay, curtains, I would think would
Curtains,
be
it can be another one.
Okay.
We've even seen, laundry baskets.
Ah.
So yeah, it's just it's one of those things we don't think about, but it's, try to be cognizant of that.
Okay. And you always hear that, and heaven forbid, in the dead of winter, where a family is forced out of their home and maybe they can't pay their gas bill, that kind of thing, and then they resort to the...
Exactly. They start to, they go to the alternative heating sources.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you have something called Project Lifesaver. What's that?
Project Lifesaver is a program that was actually started by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Department in 2009. Maybe a lot of us have seen here recently on the news the young boy down in Brownsburg that was autistic, that went missing, and then ended up in, tragically, it came to a tragic end. Project Lifesaver is designed for children with autism, elderly with Alzheimer's disease, dementia.
Okay.
They have a tendency to wander sometimes. With Project Lifesaver, these children or these older adults wear a bracelet that transmit a signal. And if they go missing, they simply call 911, and we have the ability to track them on ground. And also we have the resources. If we ever need help, we can also get a helicopter and we can search for these people.
Wow, okay. Wow, so it picks up the signal, kind of like when you lose your cell phone.
Exactly. And it works off of a radio signal, and the equipment that we use to locate, that's how we pick it up.
Okay. So now, how would that work? How would you get the bracelet? How do you sign up for something like that? How do you be a part of that?
Yeah, it's a great question. What they can do is, right now, Cicero Fire Department, the City of Noblesville, the City of Westfield, the City of Carmel, and the City of Fishers all has the program. They can contact their local fire department, or they can reach out to the Sheriff's Department as well.
Okay. I've always thought because we have things like that for our pets, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can get like a chip put in your pet.
Yes, you can. And it's the same concept. It's the same concept, except this is just like a watch that they would wear.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of people don't even realize what it is until maybe they ask about it.
Okay. And I would think it's not a bad idea for children in general, because that is just the worst nightmare if your child is missing. I mean, do you have it apply it to that kind of thing where a parent just wants their child?
Unfortunately, it would be nice, but with Project Lifesaver, it's focused for children with autism and the elderly with Alzheimer's disease and dementia.
Okay, when we get the silver alerts sometimes with that kind of situation. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Project Lifesaver. So check that out. Look that up on the internet, and I'm sure, or call the Hamilton County agencies, or anybody. I would think that would. What about on the south side and in Marion County? Do you know if they have access to this kind of thing as well?
Yeah, actually, down in Indianapolis, they can contact Wayne Township
Okay.
Fire Department. They service, kind of their area, a little bit of the Indianapolis area.
So no matter where you are, there's a possibility that you can get access to Project Lifesaver. So now I want to get back to talking about fire safety. And so how many fires would you say even happen during the course of the winter? And I know you're working with Noblesville, but are they pretty frequent?
I'm going to say, early, once the weather starts to cool down, we see a rise in those, and then they kind of, plateau out a little bit. But, every year, we probably see maybe 20 to 30 fires, over the course of the winter.
Oh, okay. And the number one cause of fires that you...
The number one cause is not only for the city of Noblesville, but across the United States, is cooking fires.
Really?
Unattended cooking fires is the number one cause of fires in the home.
Wow. Now, do those kinds of fires typically result in the whole house going up in flames, or is that a controllable situation? That one, typically if somebody's cooking, they are home, they're able to call you and you're able to help, or how does that normally end?
And that's a good question. One of the biggest thing is those fires start because they're unattended. So we always try to stress to people, if you're going to be in the kitchen cooking, try to stay there. We understand that there's situations where you have to leave the kitchen, but it goes back to, the early alerting of a fire. And that goes back to having that smoke detectors in your home. If you've got a good working smoke detector in the home and it alerts you, you call 911 right away. We can, hopefully contain that to just the kitchen.
A kitchen fire, okay. So what are they cooking? What are they burning up? What is there a thing that commonly, causes the most damage? And
A lot of times it's, if they're cooking with grease on the stovetop.
okay,
Yeah, once that grease gets to, a certain temperature, it ignites, and a lot of times we have right over our stoves, we've got our cabinets.
right, there you go.
Yeah,
So the next
so-
thing it spreads to, and to be careful with the grease. I had a friend of mine that was actually doing some work at my house, and his daughter was completely scarred on one side because when she was little, she reached for a pan of grease.
Absolutely.
And she was badly disfigured. And so you just don't think about how that's some dangerous stuff.
Yeah, and it is, and that's one thing too. We talk to parents, and it's one of those, they don't realize it until we start talking. If we're cooking and you have young children around, it's a matter of turning your handles inward.
There you
So
go.
if the kids come by, they don't,
Can't get
hit them. They can't grab them. Yeah.
Okay. So some other tips for parents in preventing fires in their homes, whether it be in the kitchen or dealing with kids to keep things from happening.
Yeah. Another one that we, is young kids ourselves. We can maybe go back to the days when we were in school. We used to have fire alarms. And we ask parents, and we teach that to the kids today in schools, is, go home, talk to your parents about doing a fire drill in your own home. And we talk to parents about that, and they never think about that sometimes. But it's a good idea to get into the habit of, maybe occasionally having a practice fire drill in your home. See how your kids respond. Have, an exit drill, know 2 ways out of your home. Know where to go once you're outside of the home. It's a good idea that, we teach our children those things. And as adults, it's a good refresher.
Right, yeah. And I agree. In fact, I think sometimes about what would my escape plan be for fire, or even if someone were breaking into the home, do I have a plan how to get out, how to get away? And my bedroom's like on the top floor of the house, so I've actually thought about buying one of those ladders you can climb down.
Absolutely. You can buy those at any, home improvement store.
Oh, really? Can
Yes,
you? I didn't know where
can.
you'd get one of those.
Yes,
But a lot of people have 2-3-story homes, and you want to be able to escape out the window, and you look out and you think, okay, if I jump, I might break my neck, so what do I do? But I guess you can just buy those.
And really, Kelly, that's a good question too. People that we teach and we talk to, that question does come up. Hey, we have a 2-story home. You really don't want us jumping out, do you? No, we don't. You can buy those ladders, but something else that you can do is we tell people if you can open your window and you can start throwing, blankets and pillows out of the window. Because one of the first things that we do as firefighters when we get to a home, we walk all the way around the home. If we start seeing pillows and blankets and toys out on the backyard or whatever, we know that's not right.
Okay.
We probably know that maybe somebody could be in a bedroom above us.
Okay, in distress. Right. Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Good way to let people know what's going on. Okay. So, contact information. If people want to know more about fire safety, maybe they want you to come and talk at their school or at their organization, how would they get in touch with you?
Yeah, they can just reach out to us at the Noblesville Fire Department. Give us a call. It's area code 317-776-6336.
All right. Captain Estes with the Fire Department of the City of Noblesville. Thanks so much for joining us
Kelly, thank you.
on Inside Indy. And we'll be back with more after this.